Buried at midnight by torchlight. And this is the old Martyr chapel, so they would have kept the family members in here. So this is inside the old vault here, guys. And if I zoom in, just there at the very back you can see the skulls. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel again. So I am back here in Killegee Old Burial Ground in Killarney in County Kerry. I have been here before and done a video. So for those of you who have just joined my channel recently, thank you for subscribing. And you can have a look around here if you probably haven't seen it. So let's go on and explore it. So this is the old burial ground here, and we'll make our way up around here. I'll show you the old church ruin first. So the site has religious roots going back to around 12th century, although the ruined mortuary chapel that we see here was rebuilt in the early 1700s. So the chapel was built by Maurice Hussey, a Jacobite colonel who fought for King James II. And there's an inscription inside here, a very haunting inscription we'll have a look at, about a burial at midnight. So I do have my torch with me so we can read a bit better. So this is the old mortuary chapel. Inside it is spooky looking, as we can see. Look at that white cross. The old window at the back of the chapel. But if I turn on this, we can see right here it says, "This church of Killegee was built as a family mortuary chapel by Maurice Hussey of Carnane, late colonel in the army of King James II. At his death in 1714, his body was borne here by his 4 sons and buried at midnight by torchlight." So I hope you can read that there. So how cool is that? Buried at midnight by torchlight. And this is the old mortuary chapel, so they would have kept the family members in here before they buried them. So we'll go back out and walk around. There is a number of old vaults here. Some of them have these really large steps that go down, so we can go down and have a look at them. And I'll give you an example. We'll start over here. That is the other side of the old, outside then, the old chapel there, the family mortuary chapel. Here we have one of this is the Leahy family vault, John Leahy, who passed away in 1866. The chest tomb design. No, I'm not going to go down there because it's not safe. The steps have actually disappeared, and it's just all clay there, look. And this one here, the inscription is over the door area somewhere there. It's hard to read it. That is another vault. We'll go down so far, see how far we can go. I'm afraid it might be just with all that leaves there, you don't know what's under it, so seems okay. Wonder if we can see anything in there. Now, if memory serves me right, I think that one has the coffins are very deep down inside there, on the floor level. So we'll just move around Actually, the name of that is Charles Herbert, 1820. So it's a beautiful old burial ground. And there is people still being buried here. It's way up on top of the hill, overlooking Killarney Muckross House. Now the person that owned the Muckross House is buried in this vault we see here with the railing around it, and it has grown a lot since I've been here. I used to be able to walk down there, and it's extremely overgrown now. Look at that. So I will put that clip in maybe as well, where I'm walking down there and you can see coffins and stuff, to give you an idea. The door is just down there. The door is just down there. But we'll read the inscription. And this is a huge Celtic cross, so I'd say it's probably about 40-50 feet tall, this Celtic cross. And this Celtic cross was put here by Henry Arthur Herbert, his name was. His tenants actually put this cross here and paid for it. Imagine that. So it says, in an affectionate memory of the Right Honourable Henry Arthur Herbert, who was born in 1815 and died in 1866. His tenantry have erected this cross to record their sense of his virtue and their grief for his loss. And what a beautiful place to be laid to rest for the owner of Muckross House. Very famous house here in Kerry, and looking out on those rolling hills there, the beauty. Look at that. So there's a closer look at the cross his tenants had erected here, and all the knots and designs on it. And up close you can actually see some form of a dog or something there, or animal. So as I was saying, that's his burial vault, and I will add that clip to the video of me going down in there to have a look, but at the moment you just can't do it. Now, if you're liking this video so far, guys, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. It's good to have you here, coming on these walks with me. And if you want to support me on my travels, I'll leave a link in the description box below, and maybe in the pinned comments. I have a Ko-Fi if you'd like to buy me a coffee, etc. It's entirely up to yourselves, and I'm really grateful for your support. So this is Arthur Rose Vincent, CBE, 1876 to 1956. And we have a Derry Vincent, 1896 to 1988. And there's a family crest on the headstone there. And here we have Arthur William Bourne Vincent, 1919 to 2012. Elizabeth, 1921 to 2021. A big age Elizabeth was. Right, so I'm going to Make my way over through the overgrowth here in the old graveyard. Of course, with the summer months, the grass would have grown a lot more. So this is open 24/7. I was supposed to do a video here before at night time, and I just never got around to doing it. It is a long journey from Wexford. It's about 3.5 hours drive to get here, and but it's something on the cards. Maybe let me know what you think in the comments below. Would you like to see me doing a nighttime walk around here? Maybe in the winter time when those vaults are not as overgrown, maybe with weeds and stuff, we might be able to get down there. So this is a lovely memory of Catherine Elizabeth, the beloved wife of James de Burchet, who died suddenly on September the 28th, 1888, of Anybody know what that word is there? Please let me know. In Killarney while he was on tour, age 29 only. Wow. Now, if you're still watching as far as here on the video and you're still with me, thank you for watching. It's important because I notice on some of the videos people don't watch the whole video, and it does help if you watch it. So over here there is a very old tomb, guys, with remains that you can see, visible remains. So we're going to have a go look at that now. So this is another old vault that has overgrowth in it as well. It wasn't like that when I was here before, as I was saying. And you have the old chest tomb style on top, and it's sacred to the memory of Robert Robinson, CE, who died in 1859, as we can see, aged 62 years old. Now the other interesting thing that's in here as well, there's a plaque, and that almost looks like a casket there, doesn't it, inside the railing. It's made of marble. So there's a plaque here as well of a James McGra, and there's a very interesting signature on it, or inscription. So we'll have a look and see if we can find that. Now we've cleaned that, myself and Serenity Sue have cleaned that plaque along to maybe 2 or 3 years ago. We cleaned that plaque when we found it. Now since that, it looks like somebody has stood it up, straightened it out, and even cleaned it more. I don't know, did they watch one of our videos and you know, kept it in good shape. So let's go over and see, can we find that. So this is inside the old vault here, guys, and if I zoom in, just there at the very back you can see the skulls. There's 2 skulls there. There's also some bone scattered, the remains there, and actually looks like the one on the left could be a child's. It's a small skull. Sad to see, but it's all part of what we have to go through, I suppose. So that's the entrance to it there. So this is the plaque I think I was talking about. James McGra here. And it is clean, isn't it? Like, it's all cleaned and stuff like that. So, and it's stood up, as I was saying. So they're looking after it. This is his burial place here. So we'll read what it says. Now, the inscription is interesting. So it says, here lie, I don't know if you can see that, the bones, it says here, of James McGra. Friends he had none, deserted by his family. He entered the army at an early age and died a field officer on the 8th of July 1813. Having served in the army 33 years, he feared God, honoured his king, and loved his country. The above inscription, written by himself and found among his papers after his death, is placed here by his son, J.L. I think McGra of Killarney. So imagine that. The inscription above, friends he had none, and all that I just read there. James actually wrote that himself, and he had it in a book, and it was found by his son. So they decided to put it on his gravestone here, his slab, to remember him. So that's very interesting. I think we were the first to find that. Yeah. It was extremely overgrown. It was full of dirt and mud and all sorts of stuff. And remember, we just got some leaves because we didn't have any cleaning equipment stuff with us. So we just got leaves and started cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. And eventually we saw this inscription and said, wow, we couldn't believe what it said. So you just don't know what you're going to find in these old places. And, you know, that's why we love exploring these old graveyards and cemeteries. This is the grave here of Frederick Breese, who was born in 1863. So lots of vaults around. Old ones, another one there. That's the one I just showed you a few minutes ago. It's extremely overgrown as well. I did manage to get a look into these vaults when I was here before, so as I was saying, for anybody who hasn't seen that video, I'll add it to this one. There's one more vault I think over here I'll show you before we wrap up the video. It's the one here beside William Herbert's. Extremely overgrown as well. Look at that. But if I come this side, you can actually see where the door is there. So when I was here last, I was able to walk down those steps, down to those doors there, and look in. And up above we have the crosses and the marble grave. Right guys, so just this vault here. In the vault beneath lie the mortal remains of John Leahy, Justice of the Peace of South Hill, born 1717, died in 1846. So that's his grave monument over his vault. But if you look closely at the steps that go down, I was saying earlier, it's covered in clay. Over in the very corner, just there, there's a huge hole there, like an animal. An animal has dug, I think, way just there. An animal has dug way in there, and it goes back underneath the ground. And it looks like when they were digging, they threw all that clay onto the steps and has covered the steps there. So you can't actually walk down there anymore. It's crazy, isn't it? So there's a lot of activity here with the animals. So it is a beautiful place, guys. Without a doubt. It really is. Look at that cross. There's all sorts of graves here. All different types of designs, even this one. Simple ones. Toby Keith Burnett, who died in the year 2000. So that's it, guys. I think I'm going to wrap it up. A long journey home, a couple of hours from Wexford. So thank you for joining me on this walk. If you like it, you know what to do. Subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll see you all in the next grave visitation. Where that will be, I do not know. But I actually do have plans to travel abroad again. Italy is still on my list. I do want to go to Italy. So if you like all that kind of stuff, Italian cemeteries in Europe and all that, do subscribe. So that's it, guys. I'm out of here. Stay safe. Take care.